What's going on, Read My Lips people? We are back. So, just something quick I wanted to talk about. As time is progressing, as Andrew Yang is expanding his base, as he's knocking these debates out of the ballpark, he's becoming more and more mainstream. He's becoming more and more of a household name, which is exactly what we want. I mean, the guy was just on Ellen, and I still remember when the hashtag Get Yang on Ellen first started. And look, it happened. It happened. So, Andrew Yang was just on TMZ, and they asked him, a couple questions. Really short clip, nothing too crazy, but in it, Yang's response and the words he used and the actions he takes in this interview says a lot, right? And it says things that I've been talking about for quite some time, that are just coming to light. So we're gonna watch that TMZ clip, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it.
Everybody's talking about Russian interference in the 16 election and possibly 2020. I don't really understand the legitimacy of a debate that's predicated on keeping everybody out when, at least in my view, that's impossible.
Yeah, I've talked to the folks in Silicon Valley about how we can protect ourselves from election interference and bots and misinformation from Russia and other countries. And they say that it's virtually impossible as well. And so we are in a world now where we can interfere with other countries' elections. And we all know the U.S. has done that.
Right.
And other countries can interfere with ours. So we need to come clean and say, look, if you interfere with our democratic processes, we're going to take it as an act of hostility and aggression and respond accordingly. Unfortunately, President Trump has no interest in sending that message to Russia. As president, I'm going to send that message loud and clear, because it's not a technological problem alone. It's actually an incentives problem. And right now, people feel like their disincentives are not powerful enough to overcome the temptation to undermine our democracy at every turn.
If you get nominated, would your vice presidential pick be someone who was on that stage last night?
We're still talking about who's going to be doing what. There are people on that stage I'd be glad to work with. That's for sure. I would want to have a partner with deep relationships in D.C. and on Capitol Hill, because as someone from outside of D.C., I would need that complement to get things done. And the person could very well have been on that stage last night.
You were really, really great last night, and you're a different voice, and it's really enjoyable watching you participate in this. I really mean that.
Well, thank you so much. I think part of it was that my wife was in the audience last night. I was trying to find her, like scanning the audience. And then at the end of the debate, I felt like Rocky at the end of the movie where he's like, Adrian. And so I was just like walking around the stage yelling, Evelyn, where are you? And I couldn't see out of my left eye.
Okay, so like I said, not a long clip, nothing, crazy, but in that clip where Yang was talking to TMZ, there's a couple things I want to talk about. And look, what we've been wanting is happening. If you haven't realized it yet, what we've been wanting is happening. Man, he had a hell of a debate, and like I've been saying, as his name gets out there, he's becoming more and more mainstream, which is exactly what we want. Because I'm thoroughly convinced that the more people hear about Andrew Yang, the more they hear about his policies, and the more they get to see the character that is him, the more connected they're going to get. They're going to get Yangified. So, a couple things. First and foremost, Russia. Yang talked a little bit about Russia. Now, Rachel Maddow has Russia'd me to death. And, everybody knows that I'm tired of hearing about Russia. And the Democrats were talking about Russia interfering, Russia interfering, Russia interfering, when they were literally screwing people out of the primaries themselves when they screwed Bernie Sanders. So it's it just comes off as hypocritical when they talk about Russia. But I think Yang gave the best answer you can give when talking about Russia, and that's something he can hammer home is like, look, I'm not weak against Putin. I'm not afraid to stand up to Putin, and I'm not afraid to flex on Putin. Now, there's argument to be made. Trump has made some military actions that wouldn't be favorable to Putin. So I don't think Trump is a puppet of Russia or anything like that. I really, really don't. And people say, oh well, Putin wanted Trump to win. Putin also wanted Obama to win. So I really don't think Trump's a puppet. But this is a good talking point. Democrats really want to hear strongness against Russia, especially Washington Democrats, the Washington elite. Most normal people not into politics, they're actually really tired of hearing about Russia. But I think he gave an amazing answer and kind of flexed. He flexed there a little bit, just flexing on him. They spoke about potential VPs. Now, since I've been doing this channel, everybody has always said Yang Tulsi ticket. So many people have said they would like to see Tulsi as a potential VP for Andrew Yang. And, I could see that too. I would like to see that too. It's ironic. The more I see of Tulsi, the more I like her. She's always been in my top 3, but the more I like her, it's almost doubled down. Just with the recent impeachment BS that happened, and she put present. If you've been watching my channel, you would know I think the impeachment bullshit is a waste of time. Don't try to convince me on principle, because he didn't have principle when it came to George Bush. And she does these things, and Tulsi can sneeze wrong, and they're going to scrutinize her. So, the more she butts against the establishment, and the more angrier they get at her, the more I like her. I would love to see a Tulsi Yang ticket. But Tulsi wasn't there. Tulsi wasn't on that stage. And if you listen to what Yang said, it was about potentially could someone on that stage be his VP. Now, personally for me, I've always liked to see, a Yang Bernie ticket. And again, not everybody that watches my channel is a Bernie fan. Bernie's in my top 3. I used to be a Bernie bro until Russell Yangified me. And look, I would love to see a Yang Bernie ticket. I think that would be amazing, and that would only, fortify the Democratic base against Republicans. You got to remember, Yang has tremendous Trump voter crossover vote. So does Bernie Sanders. And so does Tulsi Gabbard, for that matter. So I don't know who on that stage he meant, because Cory Booker wasn't on that stage. I don't know who on that stage he meant. If you have ideas of who he meant to be, a ticket with him as VP, let me know in the comment section below. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts. And I remember there was talk at one point about, Yang being Biden's VP. I didn't like that very much. And I know most of you guys didn't like that very much. But, is it possible? Is that a possibility? Is that in the realm of possibility? Look, I'm not a Biden fan. I think his brain is melting and his cognitive abilities are on a decline. But this is a strange world we're in. We have a buffoon entertainer who is the president of the United States. So, yeah, Biden could become president, or Biden could, get through the primary. So, what would you do seeing, Biden get through and Biden saying he wants Yang as his ticket? Are you going to be opposed to that? It's fair questions to ask. These are fair questions to ask. But again, I don't know who he meant on that stage would be his VP. Again, I'm always I'm always in favor of, Tulsi and Yang, or Bernie and Yang, and something like that. Hell, I could even have meant a Warren. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows? Yang, listen, Yang makes really good ideas. He makes really good decisions. So whoever he chose, whoever he picked, it wasn't off the cuff. He actually thought about it. But then my favorite part about the talk with TMZ, this little mini interview that they had, was the ending part when he was like, Evelyn, Evelyn. That was my Rocky. That was bad. That was bad. You know what I'm saying? It's me Rocky. We gonna fight. We gonna fight. I don't know. That's my Rocky. Don't kill me in the comments. Don't kill me. That's my Rocky. I'm sticking to it. You don't gotta like it. That's my Rocky. It is what it is. That's my Rocky. You know what I'm saying? It's me Rocky. I'm gonna go trade. I'm gonna go trade in the snow. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yo, Adrian. Hey, you know I don't want it no more. What are you talking about? And when I first got in the ring, I didn't care what happened to me. I didn't care. But now as you, as a kid, I want to lose what I got. What are you paying to, Adrian? I try to pay me down and never pay.
So, yeah. Yang has a way, and I really don't think this can be taught, right? You can teach a lot of things, but I think it's natural. He's a showman. He's a showman. That's why I say dude's a rock star, right? And he has a way of playing to Joe every day. He has a way of playing to a crowd. And you really feel like he's your next door neighbor. You really feel connected with him. And he had the TMZ guy laughing when he was on the debate stage. He had the moderators laughing. He had the crowd laughing. This is a specialty that Donald Trump has. Love him or hate him, regardless of how you feel about Trump. Lord knows I don't like his policies. Regardless of how you feel about Trump, he's a showman. He knows how to play to a crowd. He's quick off the cuff. And if you don't bring that to the table as well, he will run right over you. He'll run right through you. And that's what I'm afraid of with someone like a Biden. Like, listen up, fat. Listen up, Jack. It comes off as cringe and funny, but not cringe and funny like, oh, Biden's really smoking that guy. It comes off as like, oh, Biden, what are you doing, man? It sounds crazy. It's like funny in its own way, but like when Trump does it, it's entertaining and funny, and Trump's sort of railroading through the person. So, that wouldn't work on an Andrew Yang. Like, Andrew Yang is just as quick, if not quicker, off the cuff than a Donald Trump. And you need that. He knows how to play to a crowd. And listen, Trump is an amazing campaigner. When he's on a campaign trail, he's amazing, and he goes hard, right? And I get into arguments with people to this day about why Trump won. Like, they really don't know. The Joe Everyday, the Susan Know Nothing, they don't understand why Trump is president. They really don't get it. It goes right over their heads quite often, and I try to explain it to them. He ran as a populist. He made a lot of promises that he just quite frankly didn't keep. And he played, to the everyday man, to Joe Everyday. The forgotten man will no longer be forgotten. And he talked about job loss. He talked about automation. He talked about things like that. He went to the Rust Belt, where Hillary Clinton didn't want to go. He went to the Rust Belt and run him over and talk about job loss. He ran as a goddamn populist. He knew what the people wanted to hear. Right? Now, when you look at that debate stage, who on there is oozing that and meaning it? It's not no Pete Buttigieg. It ain't no Amy Klobuchar. Bernie's got passion. Bernie's got a ton of passion. And I know Bernie means every single thing he's saying. I'm not saying everything he's saying can be implemented or will be implemented. But I can tell you he means everything he's saying. Even some of my Republican colleagues say, I hate every single policy he's putting out there, every policy he's presenting, but he means what he's saying and he's passionate about it, and he's been fighting for a very long time, which is why Andrew Yang was in favor of Bernie Sanders in 2016. Remember that. But Andrew Yang on that stage is the one who oozes those things that Trump was speaking on, but he means it, about job loss, about automation, about things that loom over everyday people's heads. Yang knows how to tackle it, and he will tackle it, and he knows how to present it. And just going back to what I was talking about in this, because I can go off subject. I can talk about Yang for a while. Y'all know that. But at the end of that interview, it was just, I don't know, he just seems so not politician-y. And I feel like he wins over everybody every single time. Yang's biggest obstacle is not being seen. That's it. Once they see him, they all fall in love with him. That's his biggest obstacle, which is why I say the primaries are the hardest for him. Once it gets in general election, it's over. It's over. So I love this quick little TMZ interview. It was so real. You know what I mean? The dude looked like he was in a car driving somewhere. And, you know, he got to, get this out real quick. And I loved it. It's probably one of my favorite little interviews at the end. Like, it was just so natural. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to bring it to you guys if you guys haven't seen it. I know it didn't seem like a big deal, but him at the end there, that is what can help defeat Donald Trump. That's just so real. You won't see that with a Pete Buttigieg. Do you know what I mean? Just so not politician-y. So, Yang on TMZ. Yang on TMZ. So, yeah, good job to Yang, and good job to you guys, because, you all helped to get him there through donating and supporting. And speaking of donations, I am in the Secure the Yang challenge, and there's about 15, 16 other channels and Yang supporters and creators in this challenge. The winner of this challenge gets to have an interview with Evelyn Yang. And if you remember before, I was in the original Secure the Yang challenge to interview Andrew Yang. It was me and 12 other channels. I didn't end up getting the interview. It ended up being Paget, Kai, and Hustle. But this time we have the chance. This time we have the chance for an interview of a lifetime. For me to interview Evelyn Yang, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is go to the description below and donate through my Act Blue link to Yang's campaign. And we're trying to do this by the end of December. We're trying to raise $50,000. And look, if you guys donate through my link to Yang's campaign, you're setting me up for this interview with Evelyn Yang. And it's a whole different subset of questions I can ask her versus Yang. And I think it'll be an amazing interview. So that's all I ask from you guys. If you're going to donate to Yang, do it through my Act Blue link in the description below. Also, if you haven't added me on Twitter, add me on Twitter. You've probably seen my Twitter handle flashing at the bottom. It's at TheRealBCereus. Please add me. I don't have 1,000 followers. I don't know how I don't have 1,000 Yang Gang supporters following me right now. What's going on, guys? I need the follows. I need Yang Gang to come through in the clutch. So add me at TheRealBCereus at the bottom. And if you want to support the channel, I have a PayPal, a Cash App, and a Venmo link in the description below. You can donate to the channel through there if you want. I'm trying to go to New Hampshire for New Year's Eve to hang out with Russell and to meet Andrew Yang. And any donations would be used for my trip to New Hampshire. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you don't, let me know in the comment section why. I'm always down to talk about it. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace.
My girl was in the club, yeah, we're feeling down the beat, yeah, the music on repeat, baby. I don't care, no one like you don't need me. I know that you can feel me, we're dancing. my bling bling.